Today, we're talking about how rewiring your money mindset, your instincts, not your income, is the real path to lasting financial freedom and a richer, more intentional life. Here's what we get wrong about money. We think earning more will fix everything. But look around. The people who've actually won the money game, they're not thinking about money at all. They've transcended the daily tug-of-war between discipline and desire. Their secret isn't in their bank account, it's in their wiring. Most of us believe the path is simple. Earn more, buy more, experience more luxury, and feel better. But the people who are genuinely rich, both financially and in life, aren't playing that game. They've discovered something else, a mindset that makes wealth inevitable with little effort. Many of us have that friend who just seems financially stable, not flashy, not posting about investments or side hustles. We know they don't make crazy money, but somehow they always have savings. Somehow they take that spontaneous weekend trip without stress. Somehow they're never panicking about bills. What's their secret? They don't fight themselves. Saving isn't a monthly battle of willpower. Investing isn't something that they have to psych themselves up for. These things just happen the way breathing happens. It's instinctive. You never see them agonizing over purchases or white-knuckling past temptation or feeling deprived. And yet, steadily, almost invisibly, they accumulate freedom. This isn't about superhuman discipline. It's about training your mind until good decisions become automatic. Like a musician who doesn't think about where their fingers go anymore, or a writer whose words just flow. The effort becomes invisible because it's integrated into who they are. Their mindset becomes muscle memory. Here's a test. Imagine you just inherited $10 million. What's your first instinct? Most people immediately start spending in their mind. The car, the house upgrade, the trip, the watch, the vacation they're gonna take with their best friend. But what if your first instinct was different? What if you immediately thought, how do I protect this, grow this, make this last forever? I am here to tell you that instinct is learnable and trainable. You don't need $10 million to start. You can practice it now with $10, with $100, with your next bonus or a raise. Small decisions become patterns, and patterns become instincts. And instincts make financial independence inevitable. Once your mindset reaches this level, the whole game changes. You're not fighting impulse anymore. You simply don't have the impulse to blow your whole paycheck or panic during the market dip. Freedom emerges not as a destination that you reach through gritted teeth, but as a natural result of who you've become. Years ago, I met a new friend, and once I got to know him a little better, I realized he's somebody who can afford lobster every single night. Instead, he would invite friends over for homemade pasta and cheap wine. The table would get loud with laughter and stories and debates that would stretch until midnight. Years later, nobody remembers the pasta or the cheap wine. They remember those nights. Meanwhile, I've watched people spend extravagantly, alone, feeling hollow, despite every luxury that they could swipe a card for. Here's the thing, luxury is extremely expensive, but abundance is free. There's a subtle but crucial difference. Luxury can be purchased, but a rich life, the kind that feels full, that nourishes you, that you choose even if money disappeared tomorrow, that can only come from intention, from savoring moments, from aligning what you spend with your actual values, not with what impresses strangers on Instagram. What would you say if you asked yourself right now, what actually gives me joy? Is it the $80 steak or the hour of unhurried conversation that happens around the table? Is it the luxury resort or the feeling of discovering something unexpected in a new place? Is it the designer brand itself or the confidence you feel when you're living according to your values? Start redirecting your money toward what truly nourishes your life, not toward performing wealth for an audience who doesn't see it and frankly doesn't care. This matters because many of us have confused spending power with happiness. Once you break that connection, once you realize the quality of life isn't tied to price tags, your stress dissolves. Your freedom expands. And suddenly, your money starts working for you instead of the other way around. Here's something that may be a bit uncomfortable once I realized it. Money is zero-sum at the individual level. Every dollar you earn or invest involves someone else. When you negotiate a lower price, someone else earns less. When you get a raise, the company profit suffers. When you buy a stock expecting it to soar, someone else selling it to you is betting that it wouldn't. Money doesn't appear from nowhere. It shifts hands. Those billion-dollar tech fortunes, they're funded by advertising dollars that used to go to newspapers, to TV, to billboards, to magazines, to someone else. The game isn't creation at the individual level, it's reallocation. This isn't pessimism, it's clarity. Understanding this reality stops you from chasing illusions. Yes, opportunities exist. Yes, you can improve your position with effort. But every gain you get also involves someone else making a choice. Recognizing these limits gives you something very valuable: focus. Instead of chasing every shiny opportunity, you can concentrate on what you actually control: your mindset, your intentions, your specific decisions. When you're making financial choices, ask yourself, am I acting emotionally or strategically? Am I chasing because everyone else is chasing? Or am I making a deliberate move that fits my actual defined goals? Treat money as a tool for living better, not as a trophy proving your worth. This mental model keeps you grounded. It reduces stress. It stops impulsive decisions. You quit chasing every opportunity and start making the meaningful moves that actually compound over time to get you somewhere you want to be. Some people earn six figures and lie awake at night worrying about money. Others earn a fraction of that and feel secure, free, and content. The difference isn't the income, it's the mindset. One group sees money as scarce, threatening, something to hoard and obsess over. The other sees it as a tool, as a resource, something that enables the life they want. This is the difference between surviving and flourishing. True financial independence isn't about accumulating infinite wealth. It's about having enough to cover your needs, ensure security, and pursue what matters without fear, without compulsive striving. Once your basics are covered, adding more money doesn't increase joy proportionally. The research is clear on this. Happiness comes from intention, not pure inflation. Start practicing gratitude for what you already have, not as some woo-woo exercise, but as a genuine recalibration. As the saying goes, if you're not happy with what you have, you cannot be happy with more of it. Ask yourself, if my income doubled tomorrow, would I actually feel more fulfilled? Or would I just inflate my lifestyle and end up with the same ratio of contentment to stress? Focus on experiences that grow you, on relationships that sustain you, on intentional choices rather than mindless expansion. Build habits and structures that protect your freedom and increase your joy, regardless of the number in your bank account. Because here's the truth: mindset is the ultimate wealth multiplier. Someone with a rich mindset lives abundantly on any income. Without that mindset, even enormous sums leave you anxious and unfulfilled, always reaching for more but never fully arriving. Back to that $10 million. One instinct: splurge. Finally buy everything. Finally prove you've made it. Another instinct: invest it thoughtfully and spend only the returns. Only one of these paths ensures long-term freedom and meaningful choices. The other, despite its initial appeal, leads to burnout, regret, and often right back to where you started. The mindset is what makes all the difference. There's this principle, sometimes called the 4% rule. Spend only the interest, never the principle, and your wealth endures indefinitely. The math is simple. Living by it, that requires instinctive thinking. The reflex to preserve and grow resources before consuming them, that's what separates the genuinely free from the chronically restless. Start small. Apply this to your current finances. Save and invest first and spend second. When you get a bonus or a windfall, treat it as an opportunity to reinforce this instinct. Before you do anything, ask, will this choice increase my long-term freedom and joy, or just give me a momentary hit of satisfaction now? This is the bridge between financial stability and actual wealth, the kind that lets you live fully, creatively, intentionally. And here's what many people miss. It's not about the math, it's about the mindset. The math is easy, the mindset is everything. So, what's the real takeaway here? Money itself isn't the secret to a good life. It never was. The secret is the mindset, that instinctive, almost subconscious approach that determines whether money serves you or controls you. Once you cover the basics, once survival isn't in question, everything else comes down to intention. A fulfilling life isn't about lobster every night or a luxury car. And yes, there's nothing wrong with either. It's about deliberate choices, meaningful experiences, and habits that protect your freedom and increase what you actually care about. The people who achieve financial independence don't stress over every purchase because they've trained their minds. Saving happens naturally. Investing feels obvious. They pursue challenges and passions for the work itself, not just for the paycheck. And here's the understated truth at the heart of all this. When your mindset aligns with your intention, money stops being the goal. It becomes something simpler, something better, a tool, an enabler, a silent partner in building a life that feels rich, meaningful, and entirely yours. That's when you know you've won. Thank you.